He's tougher than a you-know-what and a you-know-where.
Oh, we're not going to get into that discussion.
So, again, a PPR maven. You love this guy in points per reception leagues. He had over 110 targets each of his first two seasons. I don't see that going down with little to no competition added in the backfield this offseason. The only thing that worries me about CMC is Cam Newton's health. If Cam is out, if there's no dynamic quarterback running that offense, then it really worries me about McCaffrey's production. He's going to see a lot more 8 men in the box. And that's the reason he comes in at number 4.
Who do they have? Derek Anderson still?
As a backup?
No, they drafted
a
kid.
I haven't seen their backup.
Well, I miss the days of Chris Winkie.
Jake Dillon.
Jimmy Clausen?
Oh, the baby face. All right, let's move on to the next subject.
Yeah, let's do it, because I had a real problem deciding who was going to be for between McCaffrey and the man who's up next out of New Orleans, Alvin Kamara. I looked up Kamara's rushing attempts. He was 16th last year. He was below 200 rushing attempts, which is why I wanted to put him lower than McCaffrey on the list, because his usage is less. But after putting up only 7 less fantasy points last year with only 275 touches compared to McCaffrey's 326 touches, that goes to show you how efficient Kamara is. When he has the ball in his hands, good things happen. Even though he only was 16th in rushing attempts, he still was second in the league with 14 rushing touchdowns. Came up with 883 yards. And again, this is why he's in the top 5. Another PPR maven at 81 catches last year. So I think in a season without pesky Mark Ingram in the backfield, taking up some of the workload, without anyone really added to the receiving core aside from Jared Cook to take away.
Latavius Murray's there, though. He might take away some carries.
Yeah, you're right. He might take away some carries. I just don't think it's going to be the same chunk that Mark Ingram was taking away.
Yeah, true. Mark Ingram's more of a horse. I got you.
Right. Well, Murray's tough in the 10 zone, but Kamara's already good in the 10 zone. I mean, 14 rushing touchdowns is no joke. So I think if they just give this guy more rushing attempts, he could easily finish as the top running back this season.
It's like lightning in a bottle with him. It's ridiculous. Like every time he touches the ball, he could just take it anytime.
If you try to drink the bottle of Alvin Kamara, you will get electrocuted.
Thank you. All right, who's number 2?
Running back for the disgusting New York Giants, the talented Saquon Barkley out of Penn State. This guy, in his first season in the league, behind a horrible offensive line, behind a declining Eli Manning, was still able to put up 294.8 fantasy points last season, 1,300 rushing yards, 11 rushing touchdowns. And oh wait, that's not all. He can catch the ball. The guy had 91 receptions, 721 yards. We're talking 352 total touchdowns for Saquon Barkley. Why is he not number 1? Well, it's almost for the same reason he is as high up as number 2, and that is the departure of Odell Beckham. I think it hurts and helps him in that without Odell, I think the Giants are in the red zone a lot less this season, giving him less opportunities to score those 11 touchdowns or more again. But without Odell, you are searching for more than ever a guy to make plays in the passing game. And if Saquon can get up to that Christian McCaffrey range Christian McCaffrey had 107 catches this past season. If Saquon can add another 16 catches, another couple touchdowns, and you're talking huge yards, huge numbers out of Mr. Barkley, who I'm not looking forward to seeing twice a year against my Philadelphia Eagles. And
do you think he could be the next Barry Sanders? With how he plays, with his build, do you think he can be the next Sanders? I'm not saying he is, but just the way he plays.
There will never be another Barry Sanders, ever. Ever! Blasphemy!
I'll give you that. I love Barry Sanders, but if you look at the combine numbers, the guy is 99% rarest athlete you could possibly find, not just at the position, but in the entire league. You saw the way he moved laterally last year.
He's just a freak. Yeah.
He's a freak. He makes guys miss when they penetrate into the backfield.
You guys are missing what Barry Sanders was. See, he can move laterally the best he ever wants. He can move forward the fastest he ever wants. He can be all the freak. And you want to compare him to Barry Sanders, then show me that he can move backwards 15 yards on 2 hop steps, then spin move, run backwards another 10 yards, and then break it 90 yards for a touchdown. Then you can tell me he's the next Barry Sanders.
Barkley did that in Penn State.
I do think we've seen a couple of those type of runs. Maybe not the highlights you're talking about, but this guy, unfortunately, can move. I mean, it's unreal the things he can do with the ball in his hands.
He says unfortunately. The Philly fan in you comes out like unfortunately.
It's terrible, but at the same time, it's amazing.
It's funny. Funny.
And
funny like a clown.
Yeah, like a clown. You cry. Or maybe like Pennywise. We don't know which clown.
Oh, God, please, don't get into there. Just who's number one, Dillon?
I'll tell you who's number one. And it's not the guy with the most rushing attempts last season, because that's Todd Gurley, and he didn't even make my top 10.
Can I make a guess?
I'm lying. Let me reverse that. It's the guy with the most rushing attempts last season, but not the guy who scored the most fantasy points last season. That was Todd Gurley. The guy who had the most rushing attempts last season. Please take a guess.
It's Zeke.
It is Mr. Ezekiel Elliott. That's right.
Back-to-back division rivals.
Back-to-back division rivals.
That's been tough for you.
I guess that gives you credibility because this had to have tore your
heartstrings apart. That laugh sounds evil, Dillon.
It's painful. It is painful to see these up-and-coming guys. I mean, even Adrian Peterson broke off a 90-yard touchdown run against us last year. So
he ran with his walker.
Yes, I know, with the tennis balls on the bottom and everything.
With the black dreadlocks to the shins.
The stats that make Zeke my number one overall is his first overall finish in rushing yards. He had 1,436. His 304 rushing attempts led the league. His 77 catches were the most of his career. His 381 total touches led the league. This guy is a monster. Unfortunately for Zeke, I think his receiving game is going to take a slight step back this year with Jason Witten back in the mix. But we'll see, because they're also losing Cole Beasley at the same time. So,
did you see who they cut today?
What's that?
They cut Allen Hurns. That's more targets.
Oh, I didn't see that today. Look at me being all distracted, not getting up on my Allen.
You're welcome, Agent Busby.
Wow. How about former Packer Randall Cobb getting those opportunities?
Yeah,
he'll get hurt after week 4.
He has to stay. Those hammies have to stay healthy. But if Cobb is healthy, he's a target beast. Dave is a hater, but you can hate all you want. When he's healthy, when he's healthy, he's a premium slot receiver. Yeah, that's how he got paid, Dave. So it did happen 1 year.
So when was he drafted? 2011? Oh, so you're saying it's 8 years 1 year out of 8 years? Ooh.
If I may, really quick before we keep going with Randall Cobb. So what gives Zeke owners hope is the fact that he only scored 6 rushing touchdowns last year. That was meager in comparison to his 15 in 2016. So with the yardage, with the receiving opportunities, if you can just get those rushing touchdowns back up to where they should be in the double digits, Zeke is our man, rounding out the top 10.
I got a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
So with Amari Cooper being there for a full half, are you sitting there?
Yeah, sure. The receiving options were not there, and Amari Cooper is going to take away catches, but at the same time, he's going to help move the chains and maybe give him more opportunities to get those 15 rushing touchdowns he was enjoying back in the strong Des Bryant days.
Well, you don't think that's going to take? I mean,
they're a run-first team, Dave. They're always going to be go Zeke first. Amari is there to keep the defense honest, and when it's not, they score a touchdown.
Well, Zeke said he's going to hold out currently, and he's even out of the country. He's holding out so much. He's not even in Arlington with Jerry. He is on his own.
That is actually a good point, and it did make me hesitant to rank him like this, but I don't view it the same as Melvin Gordon's holdout. I think Zeke was a little more quiet about it, a little more subtle, just, hey, when you're...
He left the country, he's holding out so much.
Right, I get it. But I don't think he's going to miss time, and he'll be there for this week 1.
Dave just likes to argue with you because you guys are old friends. He's poking the bear constantly with you.
I'm trying to make a valid argument.
No, I'm the third-party mediator in this relationship between you two, and you're clearly always picking on poor Dillon.
Oh, no, I don't want to hear it, because if I bring up Randall Cobb again, then I'll be mediating.
Oh, I'm sorry, you said his name. He just got hurt again. Pulled a hammy.
Cobb's a good receiver.
Yeah, I like the...
Tell me how many... Huh?
I like the martial arts question with Kingsley. That was some pretty good insight to see if he's been doing any extracurriculars.
And he said no, he's just going to go kill people. That was basically his answer.
Hey, I'm ready for it.
Listen, clearly he's a man of few words, but you don't need words when you're bull rushing.
No. What I found it was to be what we always said, right? It's the quiet people with the man of few words. And when you're like, hey, did you go do any of this extra training? Like all these players, this man is like, he's like that action star guy in the movie that says like 3 words the whole movie, but every time he touches somebody, he breaks a bone. That's what it reminded me of. He's like, nah, man, I don't need that. I'm just going to knock players over and kill the quarterback. And it's like,
I like
that's
style,
scary.
Man. No fluff.
That's scary to me. That's much more scary than a guy who's like, oh, yeah, I've been training Muay Thai for da-da-da-da-da-da. And I mean, that's cool and everything from my standpoint, but the way he responded to that, that's freaky shit right there. No crap.
He's not a talker, he's a walker.
Oh, hell yeah.
I think he's going to be a stud.
Alley.
Dillon, if I saw you in a back alley, I'd just be scared because I've seen the shape of you before.
You should be scared because I'd be wearing a leather suit that looks like a bat.
I have a leather jacket with a hoodie.
Listen, you would fill one leg in that suit. Don't even start.
Listen, don't talk trash to me, boy.
Real story, when my son was...
Where's the trigger?
No, real story, guys. When my son and daughter were 2 and 3 years old, my son forced me on Halloween to dress up as Batman, right? But it was like $50-some for a brand new Batman costume. So my wife has the idea, let's go to Goodwill and look for costumes. So my son, little 3-year-old little butthead, right? He goes around shopping with his mom while I'm looking over in costume, and all of a sudden he comes running over with this costume. It's like either like a men's small or like a child large Batman costume. Long story short, my ass was running around town in this neoprene, tight Batman onesie costume for my 3-year-old son, and people still laugh at me about it.
Dad of the year.
Yeah. There's pictures, though. That's the sad thing. Pictures.
Even your son looks a big dad of your size.
Was this men's small or toddler small?
I still can't tell, but I still think I got a wedgie from that. It was like 6 years ago.
Did you have a couple of bat wings hanging out?
There was a freaking cape, guys. There was a cape and a mask.
Okay, it doesn't verify that you shopped at Baby Gap.
Stop it.
Now, I do want to say this real quick about my top 10 list. I think you make a valid point about Aaron Jones being ranked so low. If LaFleur proves that he wants to make Jones the workhorse and feed him the rock just time and time again and get him out in space with the ball in his hands, because there aren't many, MVS still kind of has to prove himself, so on and so forth. So Aaron Jones definitely has room to move up this list, guy.
have gotten a lot of reports that he's bulked up in his lower body to help prevent those knee injuries or any lower body